So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I'm going to show you how you can easily get around 1 million credits in 1 hour without using a credit booster. Now this isn't something you can just do right off the bat because you first need to finish the War Within questline and then the Glass Gambit questline. But as far as I know, this is the fastest way of getting credits. There may be some crazy over-specialized group setup that may be able to get more credits, but I highly doubt it. And the funny thing is, it's something that most of you already know about. The Index Endurance Arena, which is a node that appears on Neptune after you finish the Glass Gambit questline. I think a lot of people either forgot about the Index Arena or they got really sick of it during the Glass Gambit questline because it wasn't handled very well. You had to do the arena far too many times, so most people just got burned out on it by the time they were done with the Glass Gambit. And they also decided to add this stupid restriction about halfway through the questline where you couldn't score too many points, otherwise Nerf Annual would just withdraw and you would lose. But that does not change the fact that unless you are a complete potato and you lose every single match, you can easily make somewhere between 750,000 credits to 1 million credits in just 1 hour. Now there are 3 different versions or difficulties of this arena that you can do, and each rewards a different amount of credits. There is the low risk investment where you put in 45,000 credits and you can walk away with 120,000 credits. The medium risk investment where you put in 60,000 credits and you can walk away with 195,000 credits. And finally the high risk investment where you put in 75,000 credits and you can walk away with 275,000 credits. But please bear in mind that if you either lose or you don't get enough points, which is 25 for the low risk investment, 50 for the medium and 100 for the high risk investment, you will lose the credits that you've put in. Now the low risk investment where you put in 45,000 credits and you walk away with 120, which is 75,000 credits profit, is fairly easy. All you really need here is a decent weapon that can kill enemies that are around level 60. I would also recommend running this with a tankier frame, preferably Rhino that's built for Iron Skin or Ninja that's built for Halo, because every point you carry is going to reduce your maximum health and shields and it's going to drain your energy. However, it will not affect Iron Skin or Warding Halo, so you can pop Iron Skin, pick up like 40 points, cash them in, and tada, you win. Which is not really possible with other Warframes because carrying around 30 points brings your health down to about 20. And this can be really dangerous because at that point you just get one-shot by everything, and if you're carrying around like 30 points and you die, the enemies can pick up your points and cash them in. And this may become an issue because number 1, they may just get more points than you and you lose. And number 2, when you cash in points, the timer goes up. When Anyo Corp cashes in points, the timer goes down. And if they manage to kill you and steal your first batch of points, they will have a big lead and you won't have a lot of time to catch up. But as I've said already, this one is fairly easy and I deliberately recorded the footage with just Necros Prime and Strand Wraith, which are not amazing for this arena. Now on average, one run's gonna take you about 5 minutes, but let's just say 6 because sometimes it may take a little bit longer. So let's just say you can do it 10 times in an hour and you get 75,000 credits profit. So if you don't derp out and lose, of course, which you really shouldn't in the low risk investment, you can make about 750,000 credits in 1 hour. The medium risk investment, where you put in 60,000 credits and you can walk away with 195,000 credits, is a little bit harder, but still fairly easy to solo. I would very much recommend running this with a tankier frame. Once again, Rhino built for Iron Skin or Ninja for Warding Halo are very much preferred. You can still do it with other frames like Inaros, Nidus, Chroma, to name a few, but I would very much recommend a tankier frame because the damage here can be fairly high. And don't get me wrong, if you're amazing at dodging damage and you think you can do it with Banshee, go right ahead. But bear in mind that if you lose, you will lose the credits and you are fighting enemies that do very high amounts of unpredictable AoE damage. Now, I wasn't kidding when I said you're going to need a good weapon because these enemies will be around level 80 to 90 towards the end and they will have high amounts of proto shields and a lot of them will have armor as well. I personally like to use high damaging crit weapons here, and I have a primary that I mod for magnetic damage to deal with the proto shields and a secondary that has corrosive to deal with the armor. I will mostly use my primary weapon, which has the magnetic damage that will shave off their proto shields really fast, and I can just crit them to death before they regenerate them. But towards the end, where the armored enemies become very beefy, I will switch to my secondary so I can shave off their armor with corrosive damage. And this on average took me about 7.5 minutes to complete, but that is with selecting the map, loading in, and then loading out after I was finished. So 7.5 minutes is kind of the worst case scenario here. Which means you can do it about 8 times an hour, and if you don't derp out and you don't lose any of the matches, this will grant you 1,080,000 credits. And finally there is the high risk investment, where you put in 75,000 credits, and if you win, you will walk out with 275,000 credits. This one is really hard, and I'm not gonna lie, I never managed to finish this one solo. But to my defense, I never tried cheesing it. I always tried to play it properly, and I always run out of time. I would not recommend trying to do this one solo, because you will most likely just lose your credits. Once you go past the 50-point mark, the enemies will be very high level, so they will have a ton of proto shields, ton of armor, and they will be doing ridiculous amounts of damage. And it's gonna be really hard, but I would still recommend you try it at least once. Take your best setup, and if you can, bring 3 of your friends that you know aren't complete derps and try it out, because while it's not an amazing jump in terms of how many credits you're gonna get in an hour, it's still better than the medium risk. From what I've heard and read on the internet, it takes about 10 minutes to complete, so let's just say you can do it 6 times an hour, which would be 1,200,000 credits without a booster. And while, as I've said, that's not an amazing jump from the medium risk, it's pretty damn good. Especially if it's like a double credit weekend, or you're running a booster, during a double credit weekend, you can get 400,000 credits or even 800,000 credits in just 10 minutes. And that's pretty much it for the index credit farming guide. Now I'm going to do another video when I'm going to cover the other ways of farming credits for those of you who either haven't unlocked the index yet, or just can't stand it anymore after the glass gambit. So that's pretty much it for the video today. Now, I'm sorry this video was a little bit longer than my usual guides, but I really wanted to share all the tips and tricks and basically everything I know about running the index to make it as easy for you as possible. I thank you very much for watching. As always, I hope the video was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.